I want to say Linux reigns supreme over Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8.1, Mac OS 10.9, and FreeBSD. I had Debian in high school Linux Plus, Red Hat Enterprise Linux in 2004, OpenSUSE Linux in 12th grade. Then I was introduced to Knoppix in 2005 Linux Plus, Ubuntu in 2007, Fedora in 2008 Linux Plus, CentOS from 2012, Linux scripting, and FreeBSD in 2012. FreeBSD 8.2 and PC-BSD. And in the beginning with Windows XP, I do boot Debian with Windows. Windows boot screen of death crashed, and then I used NTFS 3G driver to get stuff off Windows onto Linux until 2010. I stored my MP3s on MP3 partition. I used with partition magic and later gparted, so I wouldn't lose that partition. Until 2013, I changed my MP3 partition to a NTFS file system to extension 4 file system. I kept my MP3s and photos on DVR so I could retrieve them all after my operating system crashed. My hard drive was fried from lightning. Beginning in 2014, I realized that the old Ubuntu OS can survive 6 years with some kernel updates, and that I wouldn't lose my MP3s on an extension 4 partition. This was because my computer was just like an old Apache web server. The only other OS that lasted from 2015 was Mac OS 10.9, where the hard drive says I used 2 months of total uptime and 300 starts. My Linux I used from 2014 says the hard drive was used for 1 year, 10 days uptime with 4,442 startups. So in Linux, sometimes the file manager crashed, but not the OS. And Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8.1 would freeze up completely after 18 hours. In the 2000s, I used StreamRipper from Streamcast to rip hard MP3s onto the hard drive in Windows XP or Windows Vista. So after 18 hours, Windows XP or Windows Vista would have a frozen screen. I don't get viruses in Linux. I don't get Trojans in Linux. I remember getting viruses and Trojans in Windows and having to reformat the hard drive, reinstall the programs, and all the MP3 files I had on there. It took me 6 hours. Windows sometimes install viruses with Windows Update. Windows 10 has telemetry, which is it downloads gigabytes of on your LAN onto the local area network. Is gigabytes downloaded and uploaded. And Windows sometimes installs viruses with the Windows Update. So Windows 10 does have virtual machines. Sometimes the safe state of the images fail on the operating system on that image cold booted. I still want to use Windows to play Windows PC games, so I kept using Windows 10. Windows 10 has Windows Explorer crashes. Windows 8.1 always seemed to freeze from PC games and YouTube videos. Windows 10 isn't that stable. There's a reason why hospitals are using Windows 7 and Windows XP. So when you repair Windows 10, the Windows Update takes 12 hours, like during the reinstall. This software from my Linux called Play on Linux installs PC games from the 2000s. My 8-core Intel Mac with Mac OS 10.9 became a photography retro video game emulator MP3 storage. Like one iPhone since 2015 because I have iMessage 5 years worth of updates. I got iPad because I thought I was going to play it like a Nintendo DS. I played Poker, Solitaire, Super Mario Run, Super Mario Kart Tour, and Pokemon Go on the iPad. PC-BSD worked great, had OS stability, but the files were obsolete within months and no updates. Android phones slowed down and had performance problems after 2 years. I had experience with FreeBSD 8.2 to FreeBSD 12.1. When PC-BSD PC-BSD only had months before the upload repository. The current latest software version was broken with my operating system. Linux updates its repositories for 4 years total, and then you can update Firefox and LibreOffice manually for additional 3 years. PC-BSD wouldn't boot with Windows unless it had a Unix file system and not the ZFS file system. My guess is FreeBSD beats Windows because PlayStation 4 beats Xbox One in sales. Linux is free because 1,000 people submit their code every year. Microsoft uses it to run Microsoft Azure. It's free because Linux organization is backed by big corporations like Microsoft, IBM, Intel, Google, Samsung, VMware. There's freedom what you want to do with the OS. You can install Linux when you want to. Linux can run supercomputers and or toaster. You can install Linux on updated obsolete laptops or Raspberry Pi. On a catastrophic event, Linux will probably keep running. The drivers are open source in Linux, so be supported long after the manufacturer discontinues support. There's thousands of eyes on the code. Surveillance is better. KDE and GNOME have desktop themes, so you can make the desktop more Windows-like or Mac-like since KDE 3.5 in the mid-2000s. If you like terminal a lot, you can use X Windows, the most basic desktop environment. Since all the GNU programs are in the same folder, distribution hopping can be done. If you want most secure, you can run Tails Linux off USB and use Thor browser. I don't want to check email constantly because the ROI is better than immediate response. The video editing in Kden Live and video editing GIMP is better than Photoshop Power Director. The hours doing stuff is cut down. If I want to move a lot of files, I'll use Crusader in Linux. Windows works one way, Mac OS works one way. You can just accept their limitations.